If you're watching the replay, you may not know who I am or my story. So I'm just going to start with that really quickly. And then I'm going to move into the different parts of finding hope after hurt and how they all come together for you and help you with your healing journey and then go over questions. So my name is Rochelle Nelson, and I'm a mom of three girls and the wife of a disabled veteran. And I was raised in a Christian home, but my dad was a narcissist. And I don't say that lightly, like he actually is that, like to the letter. And basically, the things that I experienced as a teenager were domestic violence. And there was so much spiritual abuse, there was so much gaslighting, brainwashing, manipulation, control, emotional abuse. And I really had no idea like how much that was impacting me until many years down the road. So that's what I went through. And then what happened was I got married. I had my first baby. I was still in doing college at the time, and I was just dealing with massive amounts of depression. Didn't know it at the time. Depression, anxiety, hopelessness, fear. Those were just paramount in my life. And I didn't know what was wrong with me. I had already been to four therapists at this point, um, individual therapy, marriage counseling, and it seemed like I would tell my story, I would talk about the past, and I was never getting anywhere. And I was just like, it would be helpful when I was in the therapy and in the counseling, but then as soon as I left, and as soon as I stopped getting counseling, it was like nothing had changed. Nothing had actually changed my brain in such a way that I could actually move forward into my life and live. So, fast forward a little bit, I have two more girls, and at this point, I'm dealing with panic attacks, still major depression, hopelessness, fear, and I had no idea what to do. And then I found Aroma Freedom, which is the first modality that you will learn in the Finding Hope After Hurt. And Aroma Freedom was the first kind of mind-blowing experience that showed me like, oh, like it is actually possible to get to this like dark place in my brain that I felt like talk therapy could never get me to. And I'll tell you what happened. So I was in my first Aroma Freedom group session, and as I'm doing this whole process, which I have no idea if this is going to work. Like I was literally desperate for help. I was going to do anything and everything until I could figure out how to like get me back. Because every time that I scanned myself like on a biofeedback machine, that I have, it would say frustration and anger were like way out of balance. Also, my liver was way out of balance. And I was like, I don't know why. Well, it turns out that you store frustration and anger in your liver. So that would be why. But I didn't know how to get to it. It was like I felt happy, like surface level by this point. I had done a lot of personal growth and a lot of personal development. I felt pretty happy on the surface level, but like underneath it all was still like subconsciously all of these emotions and anger and frustration that I didn't know how to deal with it. And so I'm sitting in my group Aroma Freedom session, and the image that pops into my head is one of my dad, and I could literally feel like in my jaw, I could feel this frustration because it was a time where I couldn't speak up for myself. I didn't speak up for myself. Um, and I felt so completely paralyzed, like I didn't know what to do. And so, as I'm breathing into this memory with my oils, with Aroma Freedom, I the part of my jaw, I just felt so much more pain. in my jaw. It was crazy. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to go to a chiropractor after this. But I kept breathing. And then finally it released and the pain disappeared. And I just got so tired. I just like slumped in my chair. But at the same time, three words came into my brain, and that was, I forgive him. And this was so fascinating to me because I had already done forgiveness work around my dad and I had let go of stuff, but my body hadn't because your body keeps the score. Your body remembers everything that's ever happened to you. And when those three words popped into my brain, it was like just chains falling off my wrists. My whole brain just rewired so much in that instant. I wish I could have had like a scan of my brain before and after because I swear it completely changed and that was just amazing. And I just felt so free. It was like, oh my goodness, finally this huge cloud which has been over me for so long has lifted. Now, of course, that was just one one session, and there was a lot of work to be done. So I want to just remind you that emotional healing is a journey, it's a process. It's like unpeeling an onion because you're going to unpeel a big layer. Like I had a big layer unpeeled in that one session, but sometimes you're going to peel a smaller layer and sometimes you're going to have a bigger one. And sometimes you're going to wonder, like, is this actually making any progress? Because sometimes those layers are really thin. But you are. With every single thing that you release and every memory, no matter how traumatic or, whatever it is, even if it doesn't feel traumatic to you, but you're releasing it, with every single one, you are getting freer and freer and freer. So that was my first experience. And then along the journey, I also found mindset and life coaching, which really helped me start to manage my negative thoughts. See, I would get stuck in these negative thought loops, and I believed everything my brain told me. Well, guess what? 85 to 90% of what your brain tells you is not true. It's a lie. It's meant to keep you safe. It's like a story your brain's creating so you don't do things that cause discomfort. So you do things to seek pleasure, and so you do things to conserve energy, right? And I just wanted to tell you that doing the emotional healing work is none of those things. You are going to feel uncomfortable sometimes. You aren't going to always be feeling pleasure. And it doesn't conserve your energy, but let me tell you, it will absolutely transform your life. And so I had to learn to manage my brain and see that when I took an action, it was always based on a thought that I had, even a subconscious thought that I had, because your thoughts create your emotions, and your emotions create your actions, and your actions always create your results, right? And so your results are always coming from an emotion that you feel. And when you do the work of going into the past and releasing these negative memories from the past, what that does is it helps create safety in your nervous system because your nervous system's like, oh, good, I don't have to hold on to that anymore. I can let that go. So now your nervous system isn't getting re-triggered by all the past things all the time. Okay, so that's what one of the things that we do with Aroma Freedom. Okay, so back to the story. So I found mindset and life coaching, and then I got super triggered on a Mother's Day and I realized, okay, I need some more help. And I don't know like why I got super triggered on Mother's Day. I didn't at that point. And so I decided to see about getting some more counseling. And so I ended up meeting a therapist who helped me understand spiritual strongholds. This was a missing puzzle in my healing journey because what I didn't realize is that I had these beliefs and identities about myself that I was believing on a subconscious level were true about me, even though as a new creation in Christ, they were no longer true. And Satan was using these to bring me shame and guilt, and they were causing me to self sabotage myself, causing major imposter syndrome. Basically, I wasn't living in the identity that Christ died to set me free in, right? I wasn't living in the new identity that he was giving me. And so when I discovered spiritual strongholds and we started praying into them, and the Lord was answering them and setting me free from these thoughts and identities that I'd had from who knows how long, many, many, many years ago, that was the other part because turns out spiritual strongholds are really, I think they're probably the root of most triggers. There can definitely be some nervous system things and some past traumatic memories, but I think a spiritual stronghold is way more triggering than actual memories from some major experiences that I've had with triggers. So we're going to work on healing those triggers, okay? And then the fourth thing that I discovered was mind, body, spirit release. And this is a tool that I've used to help my clients really get to the subconscious patterns that maybe they can't find with Aroma Freedom, or maybe they're not coming up in the spiritual stronghold, but you're like, okay, I want to change like what I'm doing and how I'm thinking about this, but I don't know like where the root is. And that's what I can do with Mind Body Spirit Release, because I can muscle test you. Yes, we can do that virtually. Can muscle test you virtually and see what emotions, what limiting beliefs are being stored in your body. Because remember, the body keeps the score. So your body knows everything that's ever happened to you, and it has a memory. It knows these are the emotions that were stored at this traumatic event in my life. So we can muscle test, and the subconscious will tell me, here's all the things, and they're being stored in these hormones, neurotransmitters, scar tissue, spine, organs, people, places, events. All these things can come up in a mind, body, spirit release session. So that's like a very brief overview of all the things that I've learned on my healing journey. So let's talk about what you're going to get in Finding Hope After Hurt. So in Finding Hope After Hurt, basically I have just put everything together that I could think of that was the most beneficial tools, techniques, modalities to that I used on this healing journey, and I put them all in one place. So what you're going to get, you're going to get 3 Aroma Freedom group sessions, and we'll talk about like how the group healing aspect works, because you may be feeling a little nervous about doing emotional healing work in a group, and I promise you that it's really safe this way that we do it. But I'll get to that when I answer questions. So you're going to get 3 group Aroma Freedom sessions. You're going to get the oils to go with it, so you don't have to worry about buying anything extra, okay? You're going to have 3 Aroma Wisdom group sessions. And the beauty about the Aroma Wisdom group sessions is that we're actually going to go and we're going to process fear, anxiety, stress about future scenarios to help calm your nervous system and help you be able to really rely and trust on the Lord instead of sitting in fear and anxiety about things that you don't know will ever happen, right? But they control our life so much. Those fears about future things can control our life as much as the stuff about the past. So we're going to deal with the past things. We're going to rewire memories with Aroma Freedom about all the past things that have happened. And then we're going to go into the future, and we're going to release fear from our amygdala, our limbic system, with the things that we're worried about in the future. Then the third thing we're going to do is we're going to do mindset and life group coaching sessions. So you'll get 3 of those, and you'll come, and different women will bring out different things, and I'll coach them through that and help them see how their brain is offering them a story. We'll rewrite the story. We'll work on finding a new thought that you can use that's going to help you take a different action to get a different result in any area of your life. And then you're going to have a one-on-one spiritual stronghold session with me, where I will muscle test you for spiritual strongholds, and we'll pray into them together. And then you also have an advanced mind, body, spirit release clearing with me as part of the program. So you get 2 one-on-one sessions with me as well. And then there's 3 workshops. I love these workshops. They may be part of, I have so many favorites about the program, but they could be like one big piece of my favorites. That was a really weird way of saying that. But anyway, the first workshop is the Finding the Beliefs That Are Keeping You Stuck workshop. And I know that's like a long name, but I really couldn't think of a better one. But what we're going to do is we're really going to dig into what are you believing about every area of your life. And so we're going to sit down, we're going to write, we're going to dig deep. And then after that, then when you come to the next group coaching session, you can even bring things from that workshop to get coached on if there's things that you wrote that you can't find, like the truth, the other side of it, which is the truth. If you can't find it, or you're like, this feels so accurate, like I don't know how this could possibly not be accurate, you can bring those to the group coaching session. Then the second one is we do a money mindset masterclass. And I absolutely love this one because what you believe about money will absolutely affect everything. It affects your stress levels, it affects your health, it affects your marriage, it affects your finances and what you do with your money. Everything comes down to what are you believing about money. And so we're going to look at money from a biblical perspective, and we're really going to, just work on releasing guilt and shame and all the things around money so that you can actually move forward into your life and not feel like that's how I feel sometimes. That's how I felt sometimes about money. Okay, so that was a really weird way of explaining that, but hopefully you get the idea. Okay, the third one is probably one of my favorites, which is where I'm actually going to teach you my exclusive method for releasing stored emotions from specific organs in your body using essential oils. So I'm actually going to just teach you how to do this. So that's one of the things that the ladies in the last cohort just kept saying over and over again. Like when I was asking, like, how was this program for you? Like, what made the difference for you? What shifted things? One of the biggest things they said was that they felt empowered, that they knew exactly what they would do if something traumatic happened, if something negative happened to them, they would know exactly what to do. They had all the tools to release it. They knew how to process through it. They knew how to dig deeper and have more self-awareness about what was triggering them so they could really get to the root of the issue and release that. And that is exactly what I wanted for them. I wanted them to come and learn all these tools just one by one and really get good at using them all together so that when you have something happen and you need to have a tool to release these emotions, because heck, you can't always call a therapist when you need some help, right? Sometimes it's midnight and you're like, I need some help right now, and you can't call anybody. Well, you could call me, but if I heard the phone, usually it's off, right, at midnight. But anyway, you get the point. We don't always have somebody we can go to, so we need to have these tools so we know exactly what to do to release emotions when we're dealing with something and when something triggers us. So that's one of the main things, okay? And then the second thing they all said was that the community aspect was absolutely part of the healing. And which was so cool because I had never done a group program before. And I knew that the community aspect was going to be important, but I had no idea like how of a big of a difference it made for my clients, because a lot of the clients that joined my program I was doing one-on-one work with. And so what was so cool is that they grew so much more in the group aspect, because when we have a trauma, it's always a breaking of relationship, either with yourself or with somebody else. And so healing in community is so much more life-changing than healing by yourself, because you're healing in relationship. And all these women, like, they'd never met each other before, ever, and they're all coming together and they just bonded so well because they understood what each other had gone through. And to know that somebody else has gone through what you've gone through, I can't even tell you like how healing that is. But to know that you're not alone is absolutely huge. And then what was really cool is, like, in the group sessions, one person would say this, they put that in the chat. And then this other person would look at that and be like, oh, I wonder if that also is impacting me. So they actually gained more self-awareness by healing in community because other people had different self-awareness pieces. And then they would share them. And then everyone got more self-awareness. It was so cool. It's just so cool. And here's what's really, really, really exciting is that 6 or 7 of those women who joined me for the summer cohort are coming back for the fall. That's how much they loved it. They don't want to stop. And so they're going to be joining whoever joins, they're going to be joining. And I'm so excited for you guys to like meet them, and they'll be like a few steps ahead of you, but they're going to be so encouraging to you and just lift you up and just light you up. And it's, I can hardly wait. Okay. All right. So let's talk about questions. Also, I want to grab the journal you're going to get. Hold on. I forgot to have it beside me. You know, rookie move, but this is what you get. Like, I'm just me. On calls, I'm just me. This is me, and I'm real, and I don't do everything perfectly. Okay, so this is the journal you're going to get. You're also going to get a travel case with essential oils, 5 oils you're going to need for your sessions. And so you don't have to worry about getting anything different. And in this journal, you're going to find pages where you can journal for each of the sessions. And then you're also going to get, you're going to learn how to renounce spiritual vows. And that's part of the stronghold work. You're going to have this cool chart to learn about the nervous system. That is absolutely going to change your life. You're going to learn how to coach yourself and your own brain. You're going to have some pages in here. Sorry, I don't know why this is. Anyway, there's pages in here for learning to coach yourself and really work on your mindset day to day. And then you're going to have journaling prompts to really help you dig deeper into the initial thought you have. Because usually that initial thought that you have is not the deepest problem. It's not the root. And so these questions help you dig into those further and really get to the deep subconscious root of that thought and really heal that, because you can't heal something you don't know exists, right? And then there's more journaling prompts. There's money story prompts. You can really dig into your thoughts about money and how you grew up and what you're currently believing about money and goals that you have and all those things. You're going to have some awesome charts in here on how to use the aroma reset and the aroma boost techniques as well. I just teach you so many tools. You're going to have so many tools when you walk out of this. Then you'll also notice that there are pages for learning how the body stores emotions and charts with the different emotions you can store in each organ. That just kind of gives you an idea of just kind of the basics of what emotions you may be storing in different parts of your body. And you're going to have some other protocols and stuff. And then, let's see. We also have some gratitude journaling prompts, because gratitude really helps rewire your brain for looking for the positive in life. And then you're going to have these forgiveness charts. And these forgiveness charts will absolutely change everything for you. Everyone loves them, and they use them all the time. I use them all the time. Whenever I have somebody I need to forgive, and you're going to get those in the journal as well. So you're going to have all the tools you really need to start healing. So let me go over just some common questions, and then if you have other questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. So common questions are, how am I going to heal like this trauma in a group? Which is a really good question, because I understand that there may be people who are coming into this who've had sexual abuse, they've had other things that can't be named, and I don't know, like everyone has had some kind of trauma in their life, and some people have a big trauma and some people have a little trauma, and all of it's compounding all the time. And so you might be like, how am I going to deal with that in a group setting, because I'm a private person? And that's a really good question. So when we do an aroma freedom or an aroma wisdom group session, you can have your camera off, you can be muted, you don't have to talk or anything. And all you're going to do is you're going to put answers in the chat, and you're not going to have to tell anyone, you're not going to have to talk about a memory at all. Okay. Period. You do not have to talk about a memory. Okay. When you put things in the group chat, it'll be things like, what number would you rate that? What emotion do you feel? Where do you feel it in your body? Very like non-private things. Like everyone's gonna be putting things in the chat. Don't worry, you're not gonna be alone with fear and anxiety and every all the emotions are gonna come up in the chat. But it's really such a private experience, even though you might be sharing like a few things about what you're feeling or what you're thinking, but you're never gonna have to share like this is the memory that I'm working on. You never have to share any of that. And so that's what we do with a group wisdom and a group freedom group session. That's all you do is pop things into the chat. You don't have to show your face or anything. Okay. Um, in the group coaching session, if you want to get coached, obviously you'll be coached in front of the group. However, you can learn so much from listening to other people's coaching. And when you're ready, you can raise your hand and get coached, and you're going to learn either way. It's going to be so beneficial to you. I have been on so many group coaching calls over the last few years, and it's absolutely transformed my life. And just getting that, hearing what other people are saying, because usually, here's the thing, is you're not alone in your thoughts. We all think, oh, I'm the only one who deals with this thought, but that is not true. And you're going to find that out in group coaching. You're going to realize, oh, I have that thought. Oh, I have that thought. And so the things that are going to come up are going to resonate with you. You're going to relate with them. You're going to learn from it. So that's how we do that one. And then the spiritual stronghold one is one-on-one, and the advanced mind, body, spirit release is one-on-one as well. Now, another question that a lot of people have is, what if I can't make it to all the calls? Like, is this still going to be beneficial to me? And I will tell you, none of the ladies from the last cohort made it to every single call. I think all of them missed at least one or two. But all of them are recorded, as long as I remember. But all of them are recorded and you can have the replay, okay? And here's the cool thing about the replay, and you can always use a past replay too, which is really cool. You can always use a past replay to process things. So when you have the replay, you just do it along with everybody else. So you're not missing anything. You can still go back and you can still do that session even if you had to miss that particular live session, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. So and there's so many tools that I'm going to teach you in the app that you're going to get videos on how to do, this 5-minute reset. You're going to get this one on how to do a 10-minute reset. You're going to learn tools about how to deal with triggers, and how to do somatic work and all these different things. So, and I'm also available like via text. So if something comes up, because there were a few things over this past cohort that some ladies were dealing with, that happened while they're in the group. And so I was able to help them like work through that in the moment, with text. So I'm always available on text as well. So if something comes up and you're like, I don't know what to do, I can help walk you through what to do because you're going to have the tools in your home already. And I can just help you figure out like what exactly you need to do for that particular situation. So let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any other questions. We're not going to be doing any call the week of Thanksgiving, and we're going to end the week before Christmas. So we won't be going in on any holiday weeks. Okay, so last question I should have gone over is what is the price? So let's go over everything you get. So you get 3 Aroma Freedom sessions. These are where we're going to go, and we're going to rewire and let go of all the negative emotions related to particular memories. Then we have 3 Aroma Wisdom sessions. Those are going to help you focus and release nervousness, fear, and worry about future scenarios. Then we have the 3 Mindset Life Coaching group sessions, where we'll really dig into how to really manage your mind and manage your thoughts and really think through what you're believing about different things in your life. Then we have the Advanced Mind, Body, Spirit Release session, which you can read more about on this page if you have more questions about that. But honestly, just experiencing it will answer all your questions. I find that just having one just helps a lot, and I go over everything in the session. So when you schedule your first session, I'll answer all the questions of how it works and everything. There's one spiritual stronghold one-on-one session. Then you get the welcome gift with the guided journal, the essential oils, the travel case. You get the 3 bonus workshops, which we talked about. Those are going to be the, finding beliefs that are keeping you stuck, the money mindset masterclass, and the releasing emotions from particular organs workshop. And then you get 2 bonus courses as well, which I didn't really go over, but those are in your app, and they will teach you other additional tools, 5-minute tools, 10 minutes tools, somatic work, all the things are in there, okay? And the total value of this is $1,649, and you get it for $880. So it is an incredible deal, and you can do payment plans. So let me show you the payment plan options, which are down here. And if you just click any of these green buttons, it will take you right to joining and paying. And you can pick any of these options. So you can split it into 2 payments, you can split it into 3 payments, you can split it into 4 payments. And doors close at midnight on September 30th. So if you choose to wait to the last minute, you'd have your first payment in September, obviously, whether you choose to wait to the last minute or not. I just know, I do that too. So I'm not shaming or guilting or anything. I totally wait till the last minute to purchase something. So you're going to have a payment in September, then October, November, December, we're doing sessions. So whether you do 3 payments or 4 payments, whatever is best for you, I just wanted to make this as affordable for you as possible. And you're going to get the welcome gift mailed to you as soon as you're in. You'll get the live group session replays, the private community off of Facebook, lifetime access to the course material, and your stronghold session, and the advanced one. So anyway, if you have any other questions that I did not answer, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them for you. And you can literally just text me. My number is 970-405-4524. You can just text me if you want to have a phone call and ask more questions. Text me and we'll set up a time and we'll make it happen. So I just want you to feel as comfortable as possible. I know it's something new, so your brain's always going to have a little bit of that fear, a little bit of that nervousness, because anything new, your brain's going to do that. But I promise you, this is going to be the most life-changing thing that you do, and I'm so excited to welcome you into the community of Finding Hope After Hurt. And one last thing that I'm going to leave with you. I can tell that the resistance is really strong this time around for people to join the group, and that's because Satan now knows that I know things more than I did last time, and that I can help more people get free. And so if you're feeling resistance and you're feeling like, I don't have the money for this, I don't think I could do this, but you want to be in it, you feel like you need this, that's the resistance, my friends. And trust that if the Lord calls you to do this, He can absolutely provide for the whole thing. You have to trust that the Lord is the God of abundance, not of a budget. And He can provide for your healing. He wants your healing. So if you're feeling like this is what I need to do, but I can't do it, really talk to Him and see how He's going to respond to that. Okay? All right. That's all I've got for you, and I hope you're well, and we'll talk soon. Bye.